Okay, so let's we quickly revise what the thing we discussed in the previous session. So we discussed that electromagnetism concept, when the current flow through the conductor, it is observed that the magnetic field is generated along its length. The magnetic field we can determine by using the right hand thumb rule. The few points we have to consider related to the magnetic field. First is the greater the current, greater the magnetic field. Magnetic field near the conductor is stronger, and as we move away from that magnet or a conductor, the field becomes weaker and weaker. The magnetic lines of forces are either in a clockwise or in an anti-clockwise, and shape of the magnetic field is based on the shape of the conductor here. And for that, we discussed that the three different shapes of the magnetic field. We discussed that the shape of the magnetic field in terms of long straight conductor, parallel conductor, and the solenoid. If you check it in terms of long straight conductor, so this is the resultant shape, which is in the form of concentric circle around the circle here. And to decide the direction of magnetic field, we use that the right hand thumb rule. In terms of parallel circuit, again the two cases are there. If the two parallel conductors carrying a current in a one direction, then it is observed that this is the resultant shape of the magnetic field, and due to this case, the two parallel conductors are get attracted towards each other. And second case is that if the two parallel conductors carrying a current in an opposite direction, then it is observed that the magnetic fields are trying to repel to each other, so that the two parallel conductors are get repelled from each other. This is the resultant magnetic shape. Then we discussed that the solenoid coil. In that we discussed that air core solenoid and that iron core solenoid. When the current is flowing through the solenoid coil, actually the one end of solenoid acts as a N pole and other end acts as a S pole, and that to be determined by using right hand thumb rule. Is it right? And according to the solenoid coil, when we pass the current, if you see that this is that actual diagram to flow the magnetic flux lines, or this is the resultant shape of the magnetic field due to the solenoid coil. But very important thing related to the solenoid coil we discussed in the previous session, and that is nothing but in terms of solenoid, experimentally it is observed that magnetic field inside the solenoid is uniform and outside the solenoid is a zero, or we can say that it's a negligible is there. So these are the points, what the points we discussed in the previous session is there. And now today we are going to discuss that the few more new things related to that magnetic circuit is there. So I request to you all, just all of you, just please make the title. The title is Force on Current Carrying Conductor Placed in a Magnetic Field. Make this title in the notebook. Okay. Now please concentrate here. This is again that very important concepts in that magnetic circuit. So if you try to read the title is like this: Force on Current Carrying Conductor. म्हणजे जर एक कंडक्टर घेतला, त्याच्यामधून जर आपण करंट अज्यूम केला आणि तो कंडक्टर if we place in a uniform magnetic field, the conductor will experience a force. How? What is the magnitude of that force? What is the direction of that force? How it can be determined? That things we have to discuss under this title is there. Is it right? Now consider that the uniform magnetic field. Here we consider that the uniform magnetic field having a flux density of a B Weber per meter square. Now suppose we consider that one conductor in that field, and we assume that the current is flowing through that conductor in this direction. The length of this conductor is of L meter, is it right? And the position of that conductor shown in the diagram has taken an angle theta to the magnetic lines of force. Is it right? Then practically it is observed that the force will be experienced by this conductor. Because of what? When current carrying conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field, the force is experienced by the conductor. Then let's we try to see that what is the magnitude of that force. Before that, read the things. When current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it is observed that conductor experience a force. म्हणजे ज्या कंडक्टर मधून करंट फ्लो होतोय आणि जो कंडक्टर हा मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड मध्ये ठेवलेला आहे, दॅट टू बी युनिफॉर्म मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड, त्या कंडक्टर हा काय करतोय, एक त्या कंडक्टर वरती किंवा तो कंडक्टर फोर्स एक्सपिरियन्स करतोय. Consider a long straight conductor placed in a uniform magnetic field. Then what the terms we use? B is nothing but the magnetic flux density. The unit is Weber per meter square. I is the current flowing through that conductor. L is the effective length of that conductor, and the theta is the angle between the conductor and the direction of a magnetic field. And then it is experimentally it is observed that the magnitude of a force acting on that conductor, that magnitude is nothing but F is equal to BIL sin theta. This is the formula which will give us the magnitude of the force experienced by the conductor here. Out of that, if you check it, this B is the flux density of the uniform magnetic field. I is the current flowing through that conductor. L is the length of that conductor, and this theta is the angle taken by the conductor to the magnetic lines of force. So this formula, it gives the magnitude of force experienced by the conductor here. Now there are some special cases. If theta is equal to 0 or theta is equal to 180 degree. Now when the theta is equal to 0, just check it. When the theta is equal to 0, it means that when this conductor will be parallel to the magnetic lines of force. It coincides with the x-axis, parallel to the magnetic lines of force. That time we say that theta is equal to 0 or 180. But we know that the sine 0 or 180 is equal to 0. It means that F is equal to 0. What it indicates? It simply indicates that the force acting on a conductor, if the conductor is parallel to the direction of a magnetic field, then the conductor will experience a no force, because it is that angle taken by that magnetic field is a 0. But if you consider that the second special case, when theta is equal to 90 degree, that time we know that the sine theta having its maximum value, that is nothing but 1. And that time I say that F is equal to BIL sin theta is equal to 1. So I say that BIL, it means that it simply indicates that when the current carrying conductor is right angle to the magnetic lines of force, it will experience the maximum force is there. Get it, my point? Now here you get the thing here. Now you understand the thing, how the magnitude of the force experienced by the conductor can be calculated by using the formula F is equal to BIL sin theta. But how you can calculate the direction, because the force is also having its direction, magnitude as well as direction. How we can calculate that the direction? So the direction of the force acting on that conductor, it can be determined by that one rule, and that rule is known as Fleming's left hand rule. What is, how you can calculate the direction? By using the Fleming's left hand rule. Now, what is that Fleming's left hand rule? The title is Fleming's left hand rule. Now, take your left hand. Now, suppose I consider that, or I say that this is the thumb of the left hand. This is the first finger of a left hand. And this one is, I say that the second finger, or you can also call as a middle finger of the left hand. Now you have to take these three fingers of your left hand and you have to make the arrangement such that these three fingers are perpendicular to each other like this. Just try to concentrate. Is it right? So that time, how you can calculate that force? If the first finger, this one, if the first finger, you can see in the diagram also, denotes the direction of a magnetic field. As we know that the magnetic field is always from N pole to S pole. So the first finger denotes the direction of a magnetic field. The middle finger denotes the direction of a current. Is it right? That time, the thumb indicates the direction of a force acting on the conductor or the motion of the conductor here. Now you can try to read it. How to determine the direction of a force? The direction of a force acting on a conductor, current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field is determined by the Fleming's left hand rule. You can see in the diagram. Now try to read that rule first. The Fleming's rule, left hand rule is like that. Stretch out first finger, second finger, and the thumb of your left hand so that they are perpendicular to each other. Is it right? Or you can simply, I can draw the diagram like that. Suppose I say that this is my first finger. Okay. Then I say that this 3D diagram baga. This is my second finger. And this one is my thumb of a left hand. So that everyone is perpendicular to each other. आता हे perpendicular कसं imagine करणार आहे ते पेपर मधून बाहेर out perpendicular in this way. This one. Get it my point? So the first finger when it points, see, read that thing. Stretch out first finger, second finger, and the thumb of left hand so that they are perpendicular to one another. If the first finger points the direction of a magnetic field, what it points? The direction of a magnetic field. Okay. And that, as you know that the magnetic field is always from North Pole to South Pole. Second finger, that we call it's a middle finger, points the direction of a current. That time thumb will point the direction of a force or the motion of a conductor. Is it right? And based on that, our electric motors, our electric generators are start to rotate. Now let me try to explain so that your Fleming's left hand rule concepts will be clear. Just assume that this is a North Pole. This one is South Pole. Is it right? Better will let me try to draw a little bit clear. So here I can write this is the North Pole, and here I can draw this is South Pole. Is it right? As we know that the magnetic lines of force, they are always start from N pole and end at S pole here. Is it right? So this is the direction of a magnetic lines of force. Suppose we consider a one rectangular coil in the magnetic field. In the magnetic field. Is it right? And now just assume that current of I ampere it flows through that coil. Is it right? So as you know that, what is that concept? Current carrying conductor plays the inner magnetic field. आणि असं ज्या वेळेस असेल त्यावेळेस ते काय ऑब्झर्व झालेलं आहे? द कंडक्टर विल एक्सपिरियन्स अ फोर्स. आता आपल्याला हा रेक्टँग्युलर कॉइल कसे फोर्स एक्सपिरियन्स करते ते डिटरमाइन करायचं. वी हॅव टू फाइंड आउट द फॉर्म्युला. वी नो दॅट द मॅग्निट्यूड ऑफ द फोर्स एक्सपिरियन्स बाय दिस कॉइल इज F is equal to BIL sin theta, where B is the magnetic field produced by that N pole and S pole, I is the current flowing through it, L is the length of that now rectangular coil, and the theta is the angle taken by the coil with respect to the magnetic lines of force. Now assume that this side, let me change that the color here. Just consider that this side of the coil, and now try to apply the Fleming's left hand rule. So will you please give me that in which direction this side will experience a force? How you can calculate? As you know that while applying the left hand rule, this first finger indicates the direction of a magnetic field. It is always N pole to S pole. Is it right? This middle finger indicates the direction of a current. Now the current is flowing in this way, and now the thumb indicates the direction of a current. So can you imagine this side of the rectangular coil will experience a force in a downward direction? Yes or no? बघा इमॅजिन होते का? हे इमॅजिन करावं लागणार आहे. Although I cannot show that the physically now. Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes. So downward नाही होते. आपल्या
कशी
साइडला येते ना.
कशी होणार? आता काय अजून करायचं बघा. हा जो करंट आहे ह्या साइडचा जो काय करंट आहे इट इज इनटू द प्लेन ऑफ पेपर. आता ही माझी स्क्रीन आहे म्हणून मी तुम्हाला दाखवताना कसा करतोय इनटू द प्लेन ऑफ पेपर. आणि मग तुमचा ही जो आहे तो नॉर्थ कडून साऊथ कडे पाहिजे. हा मिडल पॉइंट जो आहे, मिडल फिंगर जे आहे ते करंट दाखवणारा असला पाहिजे. तर त्यावेळेस तुमचा थंब कुठे येतोय ते सांगा मला. कॅन यू इमॅजिन? येस ऑर नो?
येस सर.
ऑफकोर्स, कारण हा डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन. काय करायचं अजून एकदा सांगतो तुम्हाला. पेपर वरती ड्रॉ करा, एन पोल ड्रॉ करा, एस पोल ड्रॉ करा, मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड लाईनची डायरेक्शन ड्रॉ करा. त्याच्यामध्ये एक रेक्टँग्युलर कॉल मी जसं डायग्राम ड्रॉ केले तशी ड्रॉ करा. आता ही म्हणजे तुमची रेक्टँग्युलर कॉइल आहे किंवा ही म्हणजे तुमची स्क्रीन आहे असं कन्सिडर करा. लक्षात येतंय? आणि त्याच्यावरती आता एका साइडचा जो काही करंट आहे तो त्याच्यावरती दाखवायचा आहे आपल्याला. बरोबर आहे? मग तुम्ही तो फ्लेमिंग्स लेफ्ट हँड रूल कसा अप्लाय करणार बघा. आता बघा मी हे असं अप्लाय करतो. कसं दिसतंय तुम्हाला? आय डोंट नो. हे असं अप्लाय करतो म्हणजे हा मिडल फिंगर जो आहे हा इट इज पॉइंटिंग इनसाइड द प्लेन ऑफ पेपर. दिस विल पॉइंट द एन पोल टू एस पोल. त्यावेळेस तुमचा थंब हा डेफिनेटली डाउनवर्ड असेल. येस ऑर नो?
येस सर.
येस.
ओके. म्हणजे ते तुम्ही इमॅजिन. आता मी तर तुम्हाला दाखवलेलं आहे माझ्या पद्धतीने कसं पाहिजे ते थोडंसं तुम्हाला इमॅजिन करावं लागेल. ठीक आहे. आता आपण दुसरी साइड कन्सिडर करा. आता दुसऱ्या साइड मध्ये करंट हा त्या पेपर मधून बाहेर पडतोय असं कन्सिडर करा. त्या पेपर मधून बाहेर पडतोय कारण हा असा करंट रोटेट होऊन जाणार आहे. लक्षात येते? आता ज्यावेळेस तो करंट पेपर मधून बाहेर पडतोय त्यावेळेस म्हणजे हा माझा पेपर याच्यामध्ये करंट हा असा बाहेर पडतोय. आता माझा सांगा थंब अपवर्ड आहे का डाउनवर्ड आहे? अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. इट मीन्स दॅट see that this side of a coil will experience a force according to the Fleming's left hand rule in an upward direction. Simultaneously, this side of a coil, according to the Fleming's left hand rule, will experience a force in a downward direction. So can I say that when this rectangular coil will carry the current in this direction, and it will placed in a magnetic field, it will start to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. Do you agree with my statement?
Yes, sir.
This is the actual application of a Fleming's left hand rule is there. And this is the actual application of a when the current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field is there. Get it my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is the first important point. Now if you see that our electric motors जे आपण घरामध्ये पाणी भरण्यासाठी जी काही इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर्स असतो वापरतो, डेफिनेटली दिस इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर इज स्टार्ट टू रोटेट ऑन द सेम प्रिन्सिपल. कारण जर इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर्स मध्ये बघितलं तर तुम्ही नंबर ऑफ कॉपर वाइंडिंग बघत असताल. दिस कॉपर वाइंडिंग and we are supplying the alternating current to that copper winding, that electromagnets are already generated over there, will create the magnetic field, and when the current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field, that concept it works, that copper winding it start to, that means the shaft which is placed on that copper which is placed connected to that the copper winding, it start to rotate. In this way that motor electric motor is start to rotate here. This is the basic principle behind that the electric motor is that. Is it that clear? Okay. And now our second point. Now all of you, before that second point, let me clear that these things. Now all of you please try to concentrate once again, because the second point is also very much important to understand the further few concepts are there. So please give that the full attention here so that you will get the thing here. Because in this online session, I cannot actually express that my thoughts. I have to express with this diagram, and it's quite difficult to explain the concepts with this diagram here. Is it right? But I just try to explain. So that's why I say that your attention, full attention is required to understand the concept here. Now, consider for the next concept, just we are assuming that n number of parallel conductors. आता हे n number of parallel conductor म्हणजे काय आहे? एक तुम्ही काय करा, एक 4-5 पेन जे एकमेकाला क्लोज ठेवलेले आहेत. मग त्याचा टॉप व्ह्यू कसा दिसेल, असा दिसेल का? इमॅजिन करू शकताय का? बघा. येस ऑर नो?
Yes, sir.
4-5 पेन तुम्ही काय केले, एका नोटबुक वरती असे स्टँडिंग पोझिशन मध्ये जर ठेवले आणि ते 4 ते 5 पेन हे जर टॉप न बघितले तर मला वाटतंय तुम्हाला टॉप व्ह्यू हा अशा प्रकारचा दिसेल. मग दिस व्हॉट इज दिस? दिस इज नथिंग बट n पॅरलल कंडक्टर्स कॅरिंग अ करंट ऑफ I एम्पियर इन वन डायरेक्शन. आता इथं जे काय दाखवलेलं आहे, दिस इज आय से दॅट कंडक्टर. Oh, 1 minute, please. This is, I say that conductor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means the total 7 conductors I assumed here. They are placed near to one another. They are carrying a current of I ampere. म्हणजे सगळे 7च्या 7 कंडक्टर हे I ampere of current आणि ते पण एकाच डायरेक्शन मधून फ्लो करतात. मग आता मला सांगा, या लॉंग स्ट्रेट कंडक्टर मुळे जर हे एकमेकाला पॅरलल असतील आणि ते एकाच डायरेक्शन मधून करंट फ्लो होत असेल त्यामधून, सो डेफिनेटली द स्ट्रॉंग मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड इज जनरेटेड अलॉंग इट्स लेंथ. डू यू एग्री विथ मी? येस और नो? The strong magnetic field is generated along its length, and this is the strong magnetic field due to these 7 conductors are there. Is it right? Now suppose in this magnetic field I consider that the first circle, there are so many circles are there because we know that the magnetic field is in the form of concentric circle around that the magnet or around that conductor here. Out of that we consider that the one circle, and on that circle I just consider that one point. So definitely when I placed another magnet or magnetic material at that point, definitely the certain force is exerted on that point. And what is that force? That force is nothing but what? The magnetic field strength, H. This is nothing but the force. Is it right? It means that on every point of this first circle, the force exerted by the magnetic field is a H, and that is same. म्हणजे आपण या पहिल्या सर्कल वरती कुठलाही पॉइंट कन्सिडर केला तर त्या पॉइंट वरती एक्झर्ट होणारा फोर्स हा H एवढाच असेल. पण जर आपण पहिल्या सर्कल वरती एक, दुसऱ्या सर्कल वरती एक, तिसऱ्या सर्कल वरती एक, तर डेफिनेटली हा H चेंज होणार, मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ चेंज होणार. डू यू एग्री विथ मी? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I consider that this is a one point which is shown with a blue color. Is it right? And we consider that unit N pole is placed on that point. तर त्याच्यावरती ऍक्ट होणारा फोर्स किती असणार आहे? हा H एवढा असणार आहे. बरोबर आहे. Now when this N pole placed on the first circle will take a one closed path, will take a one complete round around these 7 parallel conductors. It means that the certain distance is covered in that one complete path is there. And what is that distance? When
2
this
pi r.
Absolutely correct. It is nothing but the circumference of that circle, and that is nothing but 2 pi r. Actually, I say that the some force is exerted on that N pole, and when this N pole will take a one complete round, then definitely certain distance is covered by this N pole. So can I say that some work will be done in this case? Is there? Is it right? If the work is done by this N pole, then experimentally it is observed that this work done by this N pole by moving a once complete round around this parallel conductor is there. This is equal to the product of number of conductors enclosed by that path. किती कंडक्टर्स आले त्या सर्कलच्या आतमध्ये बघा? It's a total 7 conductors. Means the product of number of conductors enclosed by that path into current flowing through that conductor. Try to read it. The work done on or by the unit N pole in moving once around any complete path is equal to product of current and the number of conductors or turns enclosed by that path, and mathematically I can write the work done is equal to N into I. What is this N? N is nothing but the number of conductors enclosed by that path. What is this I? We already assume that all these parallel conductors carrying a current of I ampere in a one direction. And this work done, this rule in the magnetic circuit is known as a work law in the magnetic circuit is that. So this work law is related to the work done in the magnetic circuit, and this work done, it is practically observed that which is equal to N into I. Now definitely the question comes in your mind, why it is necessary to learn that work law? Why this work law it comes into existence? So definitely that work law having its a certain applications, and this work law is useful to determine the magnetic field strength. Now try to read it. The application of a work law. Yes, please. Yes, please.
वर्क डन NI कसं काय येते? 0 यायला पाहिजे ना. एक राउंड कंप्लीट झाली की डिस्प्लेसमेंट 0 येते ना.
That's why I say that how much distance covered during the one complete round. Actually, you have to consider here circular displacement. Am I right? Actually, तुमच्या म्हणण्यानुसार तिथं डिस्प्लेसमेंट 0 झालेली आहे, कारण तो त्याच पॉइंट पासून त्याच पॉइंट पर्यंत आलेला आहे. But does it mean that work done it becomes 0? No, because it has taken the distance by 2 pi r. It means that here you have to consider the circular displacement, and the circular displacement is nothing but the 2 pi r. Is it that clear?
येस सर.
असं असं जे तुम्ही म्हणताय ते ऑन रोड वरती तुम्ही पाठीमागे गेला आणि ते म्हणजे त्या डिस्प्लेसमेंट जे झिरो जे तुम्ही म्हणताय तो कन्सेप्ट बरोबर आहे, परंतु इथं आपल्याला सर्क्युलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट कन्सिडर करावी लागणार आहे. मला वाटतं तुम्ही अप्लाइड मेकॅनिक्स मध्ये पुलीचा कन्सेप्ट बघितला असेल, त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही सर्क्युलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट बघितली होती. एम आय राईट? येस ऑर नो?
येस सर.
So same way here also you have to consider the circular displacement. Okay, now try to read it. The application of work law. Before that, try to read that the definition of that work law. This work law is related to the work done, and this work done on or by the n pole in moving once around any complete path is equal to the product of current and the number of conductors enclosed by that path. So this is the formula for the work law is there. Now there are certain applications of that work law, and what are the applications of that work law? This work law is useful to determine the magnetic field strength, H. This work law is useful to determine the magnetic field strength, H, produced by number 1, long straight conductor, and number 2, the solenoid coil is there. And now we will try to see that one by one the application is there. Out of that, the first application is long straight conductor. Now consider that this is a one long straight conductor carrying a current of I1 ampere. Now when the current is flowing through that conductor, we know that the magnetic field is generated. Now we assume that current is flowing into the plane of paper. Definitely when I consider that into the plane of paper, so definitely the magnetic field is produced in the clockwise direction. Is it right? Now if we consider a one point on any one of that the circle, आता मी इथं पहिल्या सर्कल वरती तो पॉइंट कन्सिडर केलाय, having a distance of r from that conductor, means this is the radius of that circle is there. And when this point, or when I consider that, if I consider that n pole at this point, and when it will take a one complete round, definitely some work will be done. That thing we know that. Is it right? But how much is the force acting on that point? The force acting on that point is the H. What is that force? The force acting on that point is nothing but the H. And the value of force means H, who will decide? The current flowing through that conductor will decide that value of H. Because we learn that very important property. When the greater value of a current will flow through the conductor, greater the magnetic field is generated. It means that the greater magnetic field strength is generated. Now here I consider that on this point, the force acting on that point is a H. And when this point will take a one complete round, this point will take a one complete round, then how much distance is covered by that point? That is nothing but what? It's a 2 pi r. It's a circular distance, circular displacement, I say that. Then can you calculate that? Definitely when the force on that point is a H, and when it moves once complete round, some work will be done. How you can calculate that work done? Can I write that formula for that work done is nothing but force H into the distance covered in that work one complete round is it's a 2 pi r. According to our theoretical knowledge is there. But what the work law gives that? The work law, according to work law, this work done, which is nothing but the product of number of turns enclosed by that path into the current flowing through that path is there. Is it right? But right now, here what is the value of n? एकच कंडक्टर आहे. So can I say that it's a n is equal to 1? Now according to the theory, the work done is this one, but according to that work law, the work done is this one. So can I equate these two terms? So I say that h is equal to 2 pi r is equal to n into I. So as we want that magnetic field strength, so I can write h is equal to ni upon 2 pi r, or you can also write it down here, n is equal to 1. So I can write I upon 2 pi r. Now what is the unit of the numerator term? It's ampere. What is the unit of the denominator term?
मीटर.
It's a meter. And I think you have already learned this unit when we discussed that the definition of a magnetic field strength, ampere per meter. So this is the formula which gives the value of a magnetic field strength in terms of long straight conductor. Is it that clear? Yes or no? No response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so try to read the slide. Consider a long straight conductor carrying a current of I ampere. This current will set up magnetic lines of force around the conductor. Consider a circular path of radius r meter. Magnetic field strength H on all points on same circular path will be same. Consider n pole placed on any point of the circular path. When this n pole moved once around the circular path, then some work is done. Okay, the work done by the n pole, which is equal to force into distance, that is nothing but h into 2 pi r, and according to work law, this work done, which is nothing but n into I, but here n is nothing but what? It's a 1, because only one conductor is enclosed by that path. So that we can write h into 2 pi r is equal to ni, h is equal to ni upon 2 pi r. You can also write it down, n is equal to 1 in that formula is there. So this is the final formula for the magnetic field strength in that path is there. Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the first application in terms of long straight conductor. Now we will see that the second application in terms of solenoid coil. आता ज्यावेळेस आपण solenoid coil consider करणार, so definitely this is the solenoid coil, and when we pass, or this is the length of that solenoid coil. बघा, मी लेंथ कुठली कन्सिडर केली, मी त्या वायरची लेंथ कन्सिडर केलेली नाहीये. मी एकदा सोलेनॉइड कॉइल एक वायर नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स मध्ये घेतल्यानंतर जी काय सोलेनॉइड कॉइल होईल त्या सोलेनॉइड कॉइलची लेंथ कन्सिडर केली. Or better way, I consider that this is the air core solenoid. Now I will try to draw iron core solenoid. Suppose this is the iron rod. What is that? Iron rod, and having its length is of L meter. And when a one wire is wound entirely on this rod, now this is called as a iron core solenoid, and this is the length of that coil here. Now if we assume the current is flowing through that coil, as you know that the one end of that coil acts as a n pole and other end acts as a s pole, and it can be determined by using right hand thumb rule. Then this end acts as a n pole and this end acts as a s pole. So we know that the magnetic field is start to originate from n pole and terminate at s pole is there. So this is the direction of a magnetic field here. Suppose आता या केस मध्ये सुद्धा आपण काय करणार आहोत, एक पॉइंट कन्सिडर करणार आहोत, मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड मधला एक पॉइंट कन्सिडर करणार आहोत. आता मी हा एक पॉइंट कन्सिडर करतो, बरोबर आहे, ज्याला मी पी नाव देतो. आता या पॉइंट वरती जर आपण एक युनिट एन पोल ठेवला, या पॉइंट वरती जर आपण एक युनिट एन पोल ठेवला, डेफिनेटली द सर्टन फोर्स इज एक्झर्टेड बाय द मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड ऑन दॅट पॉइंट. आणि तो फोर्स कोणता असणार आहे? दॅट इज नथिंग बट एच. बरोबर आहे. आता ज्या पी पॉइंट वरती आपण एन पोल ठेवलेला आहे, आता आपण असं अज्युम करूया की तो एन पोल इट विल टेक अ कंप्लीट राउंड in the magnetic field is there. It will take a complete round. So definitely in that case also the some work will be done. परंतु ते वर्क डन कधी आणि कसं होईल आणि ते कसं लिहायचं, दिस इज द मेन पॉइंट. मग त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला एक पहिल्यांदा एक मेन कन्सेप्ट सांगितला होता. इफ यू ट्राय टू रिमेंबर इट, प्लीज चेक इट. मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड इनसाइड द सोलेनॉइड कॉइल इज अ स्ट्रॉंग and outside the solenoid coil is a practically negligible, or we can consider that it's a zero. लक्षात येतोय पॉइंट हा? लक्षात आला का पॉइंट? Otherwise I can show you. 1 minute please. I can show you because I have already taken the revision of that point. Try to read it. What I have written here. Experimentally it is observed that magnetic field inside the solenoid is uniform and outside the solenoid is a negligible. हे आपण ऑलरेडी बघितलेलं आहे. And now if we try to check these things now, it's right. This is the magnetic field, and now here I consider that a one pole. 1 meter. Here I consider that in the first circle I just consider that point P, and on that point P we will place that unit n pole. आता आपण एक इम्पॉर्टंट सेंटेन्स बघितलं. ते सेंटेन्स काय आहे? द मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड इनसाइड द सोलेनॉइड इज अ स्ट्रॉंग आणि आउटसाइड द सोलेनॉइड इज अ प्रॅक्टिकली निग्लिजिबल, म्हणजे झिरो. आता जरी हा पॉइंट आपण इथं कन्सिडर केला तरी या पॉइंट वरती अप्लाय होणारा फोर्स हा निग्लिजिबल आहे. एच हा काय आहे? इट इज अ निग्लिजिबल. इट मीन्स दॅट it simply indicates that h is a zero. मग हा पॉइंट ज्या वेळेस एक कंप्लीट राउंड घेईल आणि ज्या वेळेस तो या एंड मधून, यस या एंड मधून तो सोलेनॉइड कॉइल मध्ये एंटर करेल, त्यावेळेस मात्र त्याच्यावरती ऍक्ट होणारा फोर्स हा तिथे प्रेझेंट असणार आहे. एच हा तिथे प्रेझेंट असणार आहे. मग हा एच कुठून कुठपर्यंत प्रेझेंट असणार आहे? तो एस एंड पासून एन एंड पर्यंत हा एच प्रेझेंट असणार आहे. म्हणजे कोणत्या लेंथ पर्यंत तो प्रेझेंट आहे? एल या लेंथ पर्यंत प्रेझेंट आहे. परंतु ज्या वेळेस तो पॉइंट एन टर्मिनल मधून बाहेर पडेल त्यावेळेस पुन्हा एच काय होणार आहे? झिरो होणार आहे. कारण that thing experimentally it is observed. So can I say that when this n pole will take a complete round around that magnetic path, the some work will be done, but this work done, it can be calculated, or the effective work done is for the length of the solenoid coil only, so that this work done we can calculate by using the formula H into in which length that the force is uniform, and that is nothing but that length here. हे लक्षात येणं फार गरजेचं आहे. लक्षात आलं का बघा? yes or no? yes or no? नो म्हणलं तरी मी पुन्हा एकदा रिपीट करेन. गेट इट ऑर नॉट?
सर त्या सर्कलची लेंथ पाहिजे ना.
हा, मग विचारा ना मला. आता मी सांगतो, अजून एकदा रिपीट करतो. आता आपण एक स्टेटमेंट बघितलं. काय स्टेटमेंट बघितलं? मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड ही सोलेनॉइड कॉइल मध्ये स्ट्रॉंग आहे आणि सोलेनॉइड कॉइलच्या बाहेर काय आहे, 0 आहे असं कन्सिडर करा. आता निग्लिजिबल म्हणण्यापेक्षा मी आता 0 म्हणतो. आता ज्यावेळेस हा पी पॉइंट हा सोलेनॉइड कॉइलच्या बाहेर असेल, बरोबर ना, हा जर सर्कल घेतला पहिला सर्कल, आता पी पॉइंट ज्या वेळेस सोलेनॉइड कॉइलच्या बाहेर असेल त्यावेळेस आपण ऑलरेडी तिथं अज्युम केले की मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड इज 0. मग त्याच्यावरती अप्लाय होणारा फोर्स काय असेल,
0.
बरोबर. मग ज्या वेळेस पी पॉइंट हा सोलेनॉइड कॉइलच्या बाहेर असेल त्यावेळेस वर्क डन होईल का,
नाही.
नाही होणार. मग वर्क डन कधी होणार, ज्यावेळेस एच ऍक्च्युअली त्या पॉइंट वरती ऍक्ट होईल. मग एच कधी ऍक्ट होतोय, फक्त या सोलेनॉइड कॉइल मध्येच ऍक्ट होतोय, कारण त्या सोलेनॉइड कॉइल मध्येच फक्त काय आहे की मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड ही स्ट्रॉंग आहे. मग जर या सोलेनॉइड कॉइल मध्ये जर एच ऍक्ट होत असेल तर मग मी असं म्हणू का की फक्त या सोलेनॉइड कॉइलची जेवढी लेंथ आहे तेवढ्या वेळेसच फक्त तो एच त्या ठिकाणी ऍक्ट होईल. इज इट राईट ऑर रॉंग?
येस.
म्हणून तर आपण इथं काय केलेलं आहे, वर्क डन इज इक्वल टू फोर्स इंटू द लेंथ ऑफ दॅट सोलेनॉइड कॉइल इज दॅट. कारण पूर्ण लेंथला फोर्स ऍक्ट होत नाही, पूर्ण त्या सर्कलच्या लेंथला फोर्स ऍक्ट होत नाही, फक्त सोलेनॉइड कॉइलच्या लेंथ एवढाच फक्त फोर्स ऍक्ट होतोय. म्हणून या ठिकाणी आपण फोर्स कसा कॅल्क्युलेट की वर्क डन कसं कॅल्क्युलेट केलेलं आहे, दॅट इज नथिंग बट एच इंटू एल. नाव इट इज ओके.
येस.
बट अकॉर्डिंग टू वर्क लॉ, आता वर्क लॉ आपल्याला काय सांगतंय, अकॉर्डिंग टू दॅट वर्क लॉ, as we know that, 1 minute please. According to that work law, this work done, which is nothing but what, n into I. आता इथं n काय घेणार तुम्ही, number of turns of that coil, and this I is nothing but what, it's a current flowing through that coil is there. Is it right? Means according to this work law, the same work done, it can be calculated by using the formula n into I, so that we can equate these two terms. So here I can write h into L, which is equal to n into I, so that h is equal to ni upon L, so that here we got that unit is ampere turn per meter, or simply you can say that ampere per meter. So second formula you notice here in terms of solenoid coil is there. मग हाच फॉर्म्युला जर तुम्ही लॉंग स्ट्रेट कंडक्टरच्या बाबतीमध्ये बघितला होता तर त्याच्यामध्ये असा चेंज होत होता, h इज इक्वल टू ni अपॉन 2 pi r. Get it my point? Yes or no?
सर आपण अख्खं टर्न कन्सिडर करत नाही, मग n अख्खं का घ्यायचं?
अख्खं टर्न
कन्सिडर करत नाही ना.
नाही, आपण पूर्ण सर्क्युलर पाथ हा कन्सिडर करतो. फक्त प्रॉब्लेम एवढा आहे की त्या पूर्ण सर्क्युलर पाथ वरती मॅग्नेटिक फोर्स हा इफेक्टिवली ऍक्ट होत नाही. दिस इज फर्स्ट पॉइंट. अँड द सेकंड पॉइंट इज दॅट when the point it comes inside the solenoid coil, definitely all turns we have to consider there. Get it my point?
Yes.
So that the formula it becomes like this. So this is the major application of the work law. With the help of this work law we can determine the magnetic field strength H. You can try to read it. 1 minute. Let me erase the things. Now try to read it. Consider the solenoid of length L meter and wound uniformly with n turns. Okay. Current of I ampere flows through the solenoid. Experimentally, it is observed that the magnetic field strength inside the solenoid is uniform and outside the solenoid is 0. Consider n pole is placed at one end of a solenoid. If this n pole travel once around the closed path, work will be done during the length of L meter only. This is very important statement. Let me try to underline that statement. Work will be done during the length of L meter only within the solenoid is there. And that's why we can write work done by n pole is equal to force into distance, that is nothing but h into length L. But according to that work law, the same work done is to be calculated by n into I. So when I equate the terms, so here finally we got that equation, h is equal to Ni upon L. So these are the applications of the work law here. Get it my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And now, based on that, just take, I think that one example I want to take it, but that example is not here. So forget about it. So today we stop here. So it's my request is that what the concepts we discussed